Every November, December, you're going to hear Jingle Bell Rock. And it's been done by countless different bands and artists. It's a really fun one to play. It's got such nice chords, especially for ukulele too. Your first verse should sound something like this. And then your second verse changes a little bit at the end if you're looking at the PDF file. And the chorus also has a really nice twist to it as well. It's going to sound something like this. And you're back into your verse. Now let's just take us through the chords first of all. Some nice new chords over here. Going to get up close and personal with your view over here and take us step by step through the chords. Your D looks like this, fingers 1, 2, 3. Because I got little fat chubby fingers, I prefer to swap fingers 1 and 2 around. So my first finger is going to be on the 3rd string from the bottom, middle finger number 2 to the top, and ring finger 2nd from the bottom. Traditional, and a lot of other uke players like this one as well. So you got choice, version 1, version 2. When you go to D major 7, the advantage of my favorite one is all I need to do is simply slide my first finger back. So when I go from the first, and you can see the change from a different angle, works really, really nicely as well. For the D6, simply just take one finger flat across all 4 strings. But make sure your thumb drops a bit so that your first finger goes nice and flat, because if it doesn't, you're going to get dead notes. We don't want that. And then from there, quite a big change back to the D. So if you play through the progression with me, once through on each chord, strumming is quite easy. It's simply down, down, up, and then you change. So one more time, down, down, up. And I'm going to count you in at that speed, and we can play together the top line. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there you have it. Second line, Jingle Bells Swing and Jingle Bells Ring, is going to be E minor. I'm sure you're familiar with E minor. Finger 1, finger 2, finger 3 across all 3 strings. Don't strum the top string. Or consequently, you can take the ring finger to the top and put the pinky underneath. Then you can play all 4 strings. I demoed this one in the beginning of the video though, because this seems to be the more favorite one. But the E minor must now go twice. An A7, which is simply just finger 1 on the 1st fret of the 3rd string from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, also twice. Your E minor is going to go as simple as that. Next one, snowing and blowing of bushels for fun, is E minor, A7, E minor, A7, 1 bar of each the whole way through. So we're going to have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the next line, now Jingle Hop has begun, is A, which I'm sure you're familiar with, then E minor and A7, but 1 A, 1 E minor, 2 A7s. So let's take the whole verse together, slow motion, to make sure you've got that sequence. I'm going to take it sort of the speed, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... As easy as that. And that's why I like the song. The changes are not too difficult, excepting for that D6. But it's such a nice chordal progression as well. So it's good exercise, good fun. And now to verse number 2. Starts the same D to D major 7 to D6 to D, E minor to A7, a same again for the third line, E minor A7, E minor A7. But then at the end, E minor once, A once, D twice for In the Frosty Air. So let's take it through slow motion now. Verse number 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... And that D D leads us to what they call a cadence for those with classical training background for the chorus. And D goes to G. So from the D to G. Now these chords are going to be twice through. So you're going to get G, what a bright time. G minor, D, D7. And for those that don't know the chords, G I'm sure you must be familiar with, otherwise you wouldn't be getting this song. But the G minor perhaps is a new one. I don't think we've done that too often in classes yet. Finger 1, fret 1, string 1. Finger 2 goes to fret 2, third string from the bottom, always come from the bottom. Ring finger goes to the second string on the third fret. This is your G minor. And then D to D7. This is not D major 7, it's D7. There is actually a difference. D7 is simply lose the first finger. If you've been playing your A like this, sorry, your D like this, all you do is lose the middle finger. So depending what you're doing, your combination for that hand, both are going to work quite well. And let's just take it through there because there's some nice changes, progressive changes. And let's go the first two lines of the chorus. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Then we're going to have E, finger 1 at the bottom, finger 2 and 3, and you don't strum this string here, or consequently you need to do this. Now again, my little fat fingers don't like squeezing in all 3 strings. I can't get them in the same frets. So I do this, fingers 1, 2 and 3, and we don't strum the top string. And then when I go to E7, I've got no choice. I have to go to a bar chord format, which is going to be played like this. Finger 1 is going to be flat across all the strings in fret number 2, and then you're going to have either like this, finger 3 and finger 4, or you can have finger 2 and finger 3. But you can see on strings 4 and 2 in the 4th fret, whichever combination works for you best for the E7. So you're going to get E, and then you're going to have a stop on the A, 2 and... Now the little tap there, I just like the tap, I think it sounds cool, but you don't have to do that. And all that's happening is you're simply going A, A7, A, A7. And you want that silent pause inside it, that silent gap, 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 gap is very, very important for the song. So if you're taking it through now, the whole chorus through, we're going to have this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... And then you're back to your jingle bells, jingle bells. And you're back to your verse again. So I hope you have fun with the song. It's got lots of changes, lots of new chords inside there. It's a very cool song to get your techniques and your new chord vocabulary expanding quite a lot. And it's just a really lekker song for that time of the year. A nice, positive, happy one. So I hope you enjoyed the song. If you've got any questions on the song, any sort of queries, let me know. You've got my contact details. Otherwise, have an awesome week. Take care and have a good Christmas too.